What's up guys, it's your boy Rich here, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make a holiday gift giving idea type of video. I have received several requests, and I think the final push came from Bob from Brisbane. So thanks a lot Bob for the idea of this video. And instead of making a straight up holiday gift giving idea video, I thought I would use this as an opportunity to share with you guys things that I like besides watches. Things that I look for and shop for at this time of the holiday year for, yes, myself, and for my family and friends as holiday gifts. But I think we have to start with watches, right? So let's talk about watches I either own or have reviewed, starting with the Melbourne Watch Company. I reviewed their Portsea Triple Calendar, I think it was during the summer, and right now they are having a sale up to 50% off on their website. And I've seen that Portsea Triple Calendar at a better price today than it was at the time I talked about it. Or Live Watches. They are having a VIP sale on some of their limited editions that we can still get in time for Christmas. And Live Watches was the first uber successful Swiss brand started on Kickstarter. Or one of my other favorite online destinations is Ashford.com, where we can score some pretty sweet deals. I saw a Millis on there that retails for about $10,000, though that is a little high for a retail price for that watch. It is still a very gorgeous watch that we can score for about $2,500. Now let's talk about one of my other favorite things, or addictions we could say, and that's coffee. I own both the Jura E8 and the Nespresso Latisma, and Jura is having a 25% sale on their new machines, and they have available refurbished machines for up to half off, which kind of sort of makes it like the pre-owned watches of coffee machines. And Nespresso is having a 30% off sale, though that is not their best deal. During early fall, they go for 40% off, but 30% is not terrible. I keep my Jura machine in the kitchen and my Nespresso machine in the office. Is there a big difference between freshly ground coffee right before we drink it versus capsulated coffee? Of course. But having said that, Nespresso makes the best capsulated coffee. Sorry, all you Keurig fans, but it's true, in my opinion. So where do I get all my coffee from, or most of my coffee from? I order a lot of my coffee from Seattle Coffee Gear because they have all my favorite brands under one roof. And they have a point system, which means we get to redeem our points for a lot of stuff on their website. You know, with the kind of money I spend on coffee, I should invest in my own coffee farm. Who's in with me? You know, if I drank alcohol as much as I drink coffee, these videos might look a lot different. What's up guys, it's Yo. Sorry officer, I forgot my name. So now let's segue into something that probably most of you don't know about me, and that's fashion. I do like designer brands, though I never pay full price on designer clothing. So one of the places that I shop at is Gilt.com, where they carry some of the best known brands on the planet at some really great prices. So for example, I was eyeing this Fendi wool sweater with the light bulb, and it was originally priced at $900, but after the markdowns, the final clearance was $250. Yes, that is still a lot for a sweater, but I thought it was something really cool and something different. There are other online stores such as Rulala, and as of recently I discovered a new store called Touch of Modern, which is an online store for men, and they carry some really cool gadgets and some really useful gadgets. And I'm not talking about the kind of stuff we see from Sharper Image. I'm talking about some really cool stuff. And yes, I've seen them carry men's watches, and at various points I've seen them have Breitling and Cartier. Though I haven't ordered anything from this store yet, I am eyeing one thing for me and a couple of other things as gifts. And one of my favorite everyday online stores is Barney's Warehouse. So for example, I found the Cifanelli flannel shirt that, even though the price has been nipped from here, is regularly priced at $500, and I paid 99 bucks for it. Or these Premiata boots that were originally priced at $900, and I think I paid $250 for it. So that's roughly $350 on 2 articles of clothing that would originally cost about $1,400 at regular price. Would I pay that kind of money at regular price? No way.
Say it again. No way, Jose. That right. Who is Jose? Hey, it was just a thing. Underlay. Who the fuck is he?
But at $350, I am kind of sort of okay with that, even though we can get some pretty nice watches for that kind of money, such as a brand new Maine Hudson. And I can already hear some people saying, well, for that kind of money, I would rather own 10 articles of clothing instead of 2, and that makes sense. That carries a lot of merit. But for me, I would rather own 2, maybe 3 really nice articles of clothing versus 10 for that same money. I really enjoy reading, and in my spare time, which is not much these days, I actually like to pick up a hard copy of a book instead of an ebook. Though there is convenience in having a book condensed down into what we can easily carry around, such as our iPad. That works especially well during travels. And I've been on a mystery novel kick lately, and one of my new favorite authors is Natsuo Kurono. And the book that really sold me on her is called Out. I live in LA, and one of my favorite joints or bookstores is called The Last Bookstore. It's a place that I can really enjoy throwing my support to. And so if you guys live in the LA area, The Last Bookstore might be a nice bookstore to throw your support in. Another favorite place for me to shop at this time of the year, mainly because this is the only time of year where they have a sale, is DavidoffCigars.com. And we don't have to smoke cigars to shop here because they have some really cool accessories that make some really great gifts. Last year I bought this Zino Davidoff lighter where I paid 49 bucks for it, and it was originally 130 bucks. This year they have the same kind of deal, though it's 65 bucks this year. Same type of lighter. And last year I bought a couple of these, and they make some really great gifts. And you can see a year later, this is still an excellent lighter, excellent quality. And they also have pens, and at one point they had some really great humidors. And one tip I might suggest, though, even though these lighters look like they're sold out, we can always call one of the Davidoff boutiques, and chances are that they may have one of them or more in their boutique location that are not available online. And that's exactly how I found my lighters, by calling one of the boutiques in New York who happen to have it. Remember when I asked this fashion question earlier in the video? But for me, I would rather own 2, maybe 3 really nice articles of clothing versus 10 for that same money. Would I apply that same argument to watches? Would I rather own 2 mainstream watches versus several independent brands or micro brands? That is not an easy question. If that question was asked a few years ago, when micro brands first burst onto the scene, then I would say yes. Those early generation of micro brands is what gave micro brands a bad name. Fortunately, micro brands have evolved quite nicely since then. And just like any mainstream brand, micro brands have an entry-level, mid-level, and higher-end micro brands. Those early generation of micro brands were just so crappy. I received my fair share of them to review, and they were just so bad that I couldn't endorse those watches. They had a really nice, clever marketing angle where they would say, we could sell you a $200 watch because we cut out the middleman. These watches would go for $1,000 in any store. Well, that makes a lot of sense, right? That makes perfect sense. That's a legitimate argument. Cut out the middleman, therefore they pass the savings on to us. But those $200 watches were just really bad. They would never pass as a $1,000 watch anywhere. They wouldn't even pass as a $200 watch. Those watches should have been priced at half that. And fast forward to today, and that is not such an easy question to answer. I love Rolex, and I'm very fortunate to own one. And if you're fortunate enough, I would say that a Rolex is a must-have in your collection. However, I don't feel that same way about Omega. I don't think Omega is necessarily a must-have in your collection. And I would rather have some independent brands or micro brands in my collection, such as Opinion, which I just did a video on, and even an Armand Nicolay over some Omega models. And I own all of these brands. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for letting me share some of my other interests. Until the next time. I don't think Omega is a must-have in your collection. So, the lamp just started to fall. And you don't have to smoke cigars to... So, the holiday gift-giving ideas. And I saw this Milgauss for 25... No. Millis, not Milgauss.